Hey guys, welcome back. So this was my first time in Costa Rica, and let me tell you guys, a time was had, okay? So we stayed at RIU Guanacaste for 4 nights, and throughout this video, I'm going to give you guys a rundown of the entire resort. So I'll show you guys a walkthrough, talk about the entertainment, the food, everything related to this resort. So let's dive right on in. So we did fly into Liberia. Side note, real quick, we did go on a tour and the tour guide corrected this girl real quick and said it's not Liberia, it's Liberia. So that's how I'm going to reference it. I made mental note of that. Flying in, you see luscious green land. Now, fun fact, there's rainy season, there's dry season. July-ish is considered rainy season. Do your research before you go because it will rain, and it rained a majority of the time that we were there. And rainy season is typically May through like November-ish, so just keep that in mind. Upon arrival, they did not have a gate for us. It seemed like a bunch of planes kind of landed at the same time, and the airport's not that big. So we did have to exit the plane through the front and the back of the aircraft and then walk into the airport. Customs did not take long at all to get through, and by the time we got through, our luggage was already waiting for us. This airport is, again, smaller, but it also feels a lot calmer than a lot of other airports. So in this area, you do have your car rental center, and once you get past that is where you can find transportation services. So we did book Amstar. That's always who we go through, and their booth was located right outside of that area. They also gave us a map, so as you can see, Liberia, which is right there, I'm about to point to it soon. Yep. There's the airport, and then that's the road that we took to get to RIU Guanacaste. So it was about an hour. At the time that we went, there is lots of construction going on, so expect timing to be probably a little bit additional than what you're used to if you've been here before. The roads are really windy. So if you get car sickness, motion sickness, whatever it may be, make sure that you're fully prepared. I still had my patches on from the flight, so I'm so glad that I kept those on. But overall, the scenery is just gorgeous. All you see throughout the drive is just green, luscious land, mountains, animals. So this is what it looks like pulling up to the resort. Before you get to Guanacaste, you will pass RIU Palace. Now that is the more upgraded, modern version of Guanacaste. Okay, it's slightly more expensive, not by much, but if you're wanting more modern and upgraded amenities, Palace is where you should stay, not Guanacaste. So here we are pulling up to RIU Guanacaste. So once you arrive, this is what the lobby area looks like. Absolutely beautiful. They don't have an enclosed space. Actually, a lot of their spaces are not enclosed. So as you can see, there are fans going. It's open areas that are direct to outside. We were there during rainy season, so it wasn't as hot as it typically is, but it was humid. So keep that in mind. So the resort kind of is shaped like a U, so I'm going to show you guys the left-hand side first and the right-hand side. So in the center, there's this open terrace, which is beautiful. On the left-hand side, which I'm going to show you guys first, has the bar, the theater. There are elevators located on both sides. And then the other side of the resort mainly has the restaurants. So, Bar Philadelphia, this is the lobby bar area. They do have live music in here, which I will show you guys later on throughout the video. So once you leave the lobby bar area, you will see the sports bar and the theater. So in the sports bar, they do have cold food for you to heat up. There's no like restaurant that's open 24/7. And I know our room personally did not come with room service. So this area is open 24/7 and they have like sandwiches, hot dogs, things like that. And they also have a microwave that you can use to heat up your food and a nacho station. Once you leave the sports bar, you will find the theater, which is where a lot of the shows were held at night. I will get to the entertainment later on, so stay tuned for that. When I had recorded this video, it was the day after the all-white party. So this was Saturday morning, so they still had some of the decorations up. In the back of the theater during the daytime is where you can book. If you had transportation through Amstar, you have to book your return trip, but also that is where you can book your excursion. While we booked, we also got into conversation about the money currency.
Okay, so for example, the exchange right now is 515 per dollar. But to have an idea how many colones or how many dollars you need, you just double the first number and you take out the zeros. So this is about $2. You see?
Okay.
We also have a 2,000, but I don't have it right now. In this case, this is 10,000. So in this case, you keep the two first numbers and you take out always 3 zeros out. So this is about $20.
Okay.
And this is the biggest denomination we have, which is 20,000 colones. What is that?
Just take off the zeros,
The
double.
doubles will be $40.
That's $40.
Here you go. You got it.
So when you
We did pay using US dollars. Now, I'm not sure if they took card or not, but definitely something to look into. This is the guide that they gave us in terms of different excursions that they had. We knew we wanted to do multiple things, right? And so we did end up deciding on the Celeste Rainforest excursion. If you would like to see that, I do have a separate video that I will be posting where we did hike near the volcano, active volcano, y'all. Great experience. We got to see a waterfall. It included lunch. We got to see sloths in their natural habitat. We also went to a coffee plantation where we were able to grind coffee and chocolate, which was really cool. So again, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on that video
You can
as
extract more
well.
potential in your coffee. Usually the first grind have little chunky pieces so you don't extract 100%
I
all the
also
time.
have a separate video of our detailed room tour. We had an ocean view room, so if you would like to see that, the link to that can be found down below as well. All right, now let's talk food. There is a RIU app that you can download and you can see all the restaurants. So as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 different options. The first restaurant that you will see in the lobby, so this is on the opposite side, is Toucan. Toucan is one of the specialty dining restaurants. Again, all of this is all inclusive, so it's all included. It's no additional cost. The food at Toucan was pretty good. Here's my issue, y'all. And a lot of people have this issue. At this resort, you cannot make reservations, which, all right, cool. But the restaurants open at 6 p.m. and people start to line up around like 5:15 in order to get a spot. So if you're not in line at least 45 minutes to an hour in advance, odds are you will not find space in any of these specialty restaurants. Some are more popular than others. We got in line at Toucan, I want to say around like 5:15, 5:30, and we were able to be seated around 6. But a lot of these other restaurants, y'all, you have no chance unless you're in line by 5. And the lines got pretty ridiculous. And another thing, these restaurants only stay open for like 2 hours. So again, the whole system just didn't necessarily sit right with me, but hey, your best bet might be the buffet. My favorite thing at this restaurant was the soup that I had in the beginning, and I also ordered the salmon, and that was really good. All right, next up is the Italian. This restaurant had the longest line every single night, and people started lining up at like 5. So if you were not in line by that time, you couldn't get in. I couldn't tell you how it was, but I'm assuming from the long line that people enjoyed it. Next up is the Japanese restaurant. Again, couldn't get in here either to try out the food, but hey, it looks pretty. Right next door is Restaurant Liberia, which is the buffet. So they are open for breakfast and for dinner. Lunch is served somewhere else, and I'll show you guys that in a second. Not gonna lie, I could not vibe with the buffet like at all. I don't know what it was this trip. I've stayed at RIU's before, all inclusives. This is the first buffet that I was like, yeah, no. That's just my personal experience. But for breakfast, the omelet station is what I stuck to. The orange juice was good. The coffee was good. The rice and beans, that's what I stuck to the entire time. And then for dinner, didn't like the dinner buffet either, like at all. The chicken wasn't too bad, so I stuck with that. The rice and beans, the plantains. That's mainly what I stuck to the entire time that we tried this out. So we did try to avoid the buffet and try to do the specialty dining, but as you can see, that didn't necessarily work out either. But hey, that's just my personal experience. You guys may have a whole different experience, but for me, myself, and I, the buffet was my least favorite. The buffet does have indoor and outdoor seating. I think what I'm showing you guys right now, they were preparing for dinner time. So the last option is past the buffet. You go down a windy path past the pool area and you will see the lunch buffet, which transforms into the steakhouse at night. And that was my absolute favorite spots. Okay, I believe the name of the restaurant is called Ocotal, is how you pronounce it. Called it Octal when we first arrived, and I was so embarrassed because when I was trying to find it, someone who worked there was like, oh, it's Ocotal. They were super nice. I just read it wrong. Like, I didn't notice the other O. But anyways, on your way down there, you will pass by RIU Land, which is the kids spot. And this is the lunch buffet. My favorite thing about the lunch buffet were the wings. The plantains were really good. They had the fries with the nachos. The rice and beans were also very good as well. And then for dinner, we were lucky enough to try the steakhouse. Actually, guys, steakhouse, both times we went had 0 wait. Let me tell you, I don't know if it's because it's further away from the other restaurants and it was pouring down rain. So people just didn't necessarily want to walk in the rain, or they didn't know that it transformed into the steakhouse. But if everywhere else is full, try the steakhouse. Again, this was my favorite location for lunch and for dinner, and it did not disappoint. Again, this restaurant is located right next to the pool area. So when you check into the hotel, they will give you 2 towel key cards. It's 1 per person. If you pull up the app, you will be able to see the time that these pools are open. So as you can see, there's 3 pools and then there's the splash park. The splash park is located within walking distance of the resort. You just kind of have to like leave the hotel and then just walk towards the entrance. We didn't have time to check it out, but this is what it looks like. The pools were really, really, really big and really, really, really pretty. Again, rainy season, it will rain, but we had an absolute blast, rain or shine. There were activities going on. They also had live music. And I mean, the pool is just a fun area to also meet people. This was the aqua fitness class. Something to mention, the bugs, okay? The bees were reckless, okay? Like the bees will follow you around like no other, and they're like swarming. So that's a huge negative. Also, within the resort, there were moths everywhere, like just everywhere throughout the resort. But again, you honestly can't let it bother you that much. When you think about it, y'all, we're the intruders. We're in a rainforest. This was not built for us. This was built for them. The insects, the bugs, the animals. We did bring insect repellent to spray on ourselves, and it did help. The mosquitoes weren't that bad at the resort, but on our excursion, we did get eaten alive pretty bad. So again, just be mindful that you are in the jungle. There will be bugs around. This is what you signed up for, but still have a great time. So this is the beach area. Once you walk down, this is a public beach. All the beaches in Costa Rica are public. So locals will be there trying to sell you things. People are nice, so just say no thank you if you're not interested and keep it moving. Costa Rica does have darker sand, so it's not dirty. It's actually, the water is quite clear. It's just the sand is darker, which is pretty unique to this area, which I enjoyed. I thought it was a different experience. This area is also very secluded, and I absolutely love that. Like, it wasn't crowded at all. As you can see, there are areas where there are beach chairs, but past that, it's nothing but just sand and water. As you walk further down, you will see a sign that says Monkey Bar Restaurant. There are monkeys located near the resort. So what we did was we walked along the beach. You'll see kind of a boat and signs that kind of identifies the entrance, and then we walked inland. So we did all of that just to find out. And around this time, it was like 10-11 o'clock in the morning. We did all of that just to find out that the monkeys kind of drift on their own. I mean, they're in their natural habitat, and they had already headed back towards the resort. So while we were in this area, if you would like, you can book tours, things of that nature. The guy was super nice. We decided to go ahead and go to the monkey restaurant and try that out. That was a really cool experience, and on the way back we decided to walk more inland in the hopes of seeing the monkeys. The mosquitoes, again, pretty bad, but it was fine. We were able to see some crabs, which were pretty cool, and other wildlife throughout that walk.
Because it's a mama and baby.
Okay.
No freaky, because you know it's very friendly, right? You see like fruits on the ground. It's because people come in here and try to feed the monkeys, right? Something happen maybe when it's like a little boy or something fight for another monkey or something. The mama and baby over there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's the baby. Come. She's very smart.
Yeah.
So when you see people not bring fruit, so monkeys try to look good. The young monkey. Only for you to know about this monkey, the more young, sorry, the more big monkey.
All right, so back at the front of the resort, once you walk out on the left-hand side, you will see the conference center, and then on the right-hand side, you'll see all the shops and the gym and wellness center. So we did stop into this hotel shop just to kind of see what prices we're looking at. Fun fact, do not forget your sunscreen because it is about $35 to $40 for one bottle. So out of all the things to forget, please don't forget this. The opposite side of the street, you will see this big empty building. I think that used to be the casino, but it did shut down. And then right next to that is the discotheque called Pacha, which is the disco nightclub. If you pull up the app, you will be able to see the activities program day by day. I will say there was not a lot for adults to do throughout the day, or at night for that matter. As you can see, they do cater to the kids a lot. I think they kind of bet on everyone being either at excursions or at the pool all day, which is where we were. So I mean, it was fine, but I do wish they had more activities going on. This is the disco nightclub. So if this is your scene, it seemed like it was popping. We didn't stay too long, but it did seem like a good time. So check that out if you would like. They did have live music in the lobby bar. They also had it in the theater area, sometimes before performances or after. They also had trivia, which was a lot of fun, and also karaoke, which was very interesting. Side note, a phrase that Costa Ricans use all the time is pura vida, and you will see that everywhere. You'll see it on signs. People will use it as greetings, and I mean, it directly translates to pure life, but the way it was explained to me is it's kind of like Hakuna Matata. So kind of just like a friendly greeting and response. Right, so RIU is known for their parties. So again, if you go on the app and you click on a RIU party, it will show you the dates of when they have the all-white party and when they have the neon party. So while we were there, they did have the all-white party. So we did make sure to pack our all-white outfits. If you would like to see what the neon party looks like, I do have the link down below to one of my other videos at RIU Dunamar in Mexico, and we experienced the neon party there, so you can check that out. Now, this event is advertised as family friendly. There are lots of kids here. Now, we did meet some people, and one of them said that they did not feel comfortable having their child there with them. So that's just something to keep in mind if you have children with you. And that is all that I have for you guys in terms of entertainment. Overall, we really did enjoy our stay at this resort and our stay in Costa Rica overall. The grounds of this resort is gorgeous. Now, even though it rains the entire time we were here, almost every single day, the sun did start to come out the very last day, which what a coincidence, but it's fine. I think you also have to keep in mind that this resort is not a luxury resort, right? Our rooms were very dated, but they were clean. people were nice, the rooms were spacious. We also had an ocean view room. So I mean, we kind of knew what to expect coming here. We didn't expect luxury, and that we did not get, but overall this place does the trick. We don't really go on vacation to stay in our rooms anyways. We like to go out and explore, and that we did. So thanks so much for watching. I greatly appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, share this video with a friend, and I will see you guys next time. Again, I do have the room tour already posted. You can find that down below, and I'm also working on the excursion video, so I'll have that up soon, and you can find that in the description below as well.